this is going to be your bonus reading for the month of August 2018. And so I'm going to be going into love and relationships first, and then your career or money situation, and then your health. And I'm going to, oh, you see my puppy. I am going to pull 6 cards for each section. And so this is going to be in Virgo's best, highest good, along with whatever they most need to hear. And if this place is if this place is this, blah, 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 forget it. I'm just not going to talk. I'm just going to shuffle your cards. Mercury retrograde. Virgo rising sun and moon sign. Love and relationships for the rest of August 2018. Possibly even going into next month, but I am not going to even call that out. Okay. Almost done. Let me just adjust myself for a moment, see if you can see me properly. Okay. Your 6 cards for your love and relationships. The first card was intended to be just one, but 2 came out together, and they're both major arcana cards. You have the Hermit and the Lovers together. Your second one on the top is the 9 of Pentacles. Your third one on the top is the 5 of Cups. On the bottom, you have the 4 of Swords. You have the 9 of Cups. You may hear my daughter singing in the background. The only time she sings is when she's in the shower. So, third one on the bottom is the 6 of Swords. And then I pulled a few clarifiers for the last 2. So, let me gather these together for you for a second. See if I can position them okay. In the recent past, with love and relationships, you had to make some kind of a major choice about a relationship, possibly whether you should continue to stay single or whether you should embark on this relationship. It seems like a very huge choice for you. This could be choosing to leave a relationship in order to be on your own for a little bit to seek some clarity. It can also mean finally deciding that you don't want to be alone anymore and deciding to get into a relationship. But it looks like you needed a great deal of rest and what's the word? Meditation, being meditative, taking some time out in order to do some inner searching and decide whether or not you really want to do this. It could possibly, well, I don't usually read signs into major arcana cards, but it is possible it could be a situation with a Gemini type individual or a mercurial individual. Yeah, mercurial, because one is the Virgo card, which is the Hermit, and the other one is the Gemini card, which is the Lovers, and both of them are ruled by Mercury. So a lot of inner searching, a lot of rest, a lot of taking some time out in order to really think about what way you want to pick with things. You may have even been in some kind of a situation where you've had to choose between two people. Perhaps you've had two people in your life that are equally meaningful for you, and so you've been trying to take some time out to decide what to do about this, or whether you need to choose one over the other. Something. Okay? But that was in your past. Presently, you have the Nine of Pentacles over the Nine of Cups. You have two nines. So it looks to me like on a certain level, you're actually rather enjoying doing your own thing. Whether you happen to be in relationships or not, I'm not really getting a central focus on that right now. I'm getting more that you're fully enjoying doing your own thing, creating your own abundance, following your own path, being fruitful for yourself. If you chose to be in a relationship, you would still want to cultivate this feeling anyway. And if you're single, it says you're actually rather satisfied with where you're at right now. Or perhaps it could be saying that because you have finally achieved a level of self-fulfillment, you're actually attracting a great love into your life because you have finally gotten to that state where you're happy with your life, you're happy with yourself, you're happy with what you're doing, you're happy with what you're manifesting on your own. And it could be that some of you may be reluctant to jump into a major relationship at this point unless you are sure that they would encourage you to continue to do your own thing. And you could do the same for them. But also, it could be saying that you're attracting this in finally because you have finally gotten to that state of self-fulfillment. It could also be saying that some of you may have actually decided to go with a relationship where you both encourage each other to do that, to have your own thing going on as well as the relationship. So this is interesting and totally out of the blue compared to the other two parts. So this is your near future with relationships. This shows some kind of a emotional disappointment and a need to move on from that disappointment. So maybe because in your recent past you've had to be faced with a major choice with relationships. It could be that you had to make a major choice whether to leave a relationship or stay with a relationship or even choose a relationship because of past hurts, disappointments, or certain things have been lost in the connection. And because of that, you may have been thinking about either moving on internally where you just don't focus on that anymore. If you want to continue to go with this relationship, it says you need to let go of past hurts and you need to find some kind of a peaceful resolution within yourself with the situation so that you can move on with it. Or it could be saying that you have decided to move on from the relationship in the near future because these disappointments keep on reappearing. I pulled a couple of clarifiers to go with this to help me explain it. And so the two clarifiers are the Fool, which is a major arcana card, and the Eight of Cups. So either way, whether you leave the situation, part of you is reluctant to leave the situation. There are still some emotions involved, some past beautiful things, as well as possible disappointments that lead you to maybe choose one way, which is to keep it. If you choose to keep it, then you need to let go of the lost wishes or the lost fruits that didn't work out in the situation and fully move forward with the situation, which is the Fool, and begin to rebuild trust and have trust again. And it can also be saying that you are delaying an ending with a relationship where you continue to possibly have moments where you're not sure if you can really let this go or not, but it is in a whole other direction saying that it may be time for you to finally just completely release this and move on to a brand new cycle in your life with relationships. It could be that what you need is changing, where you are no longer satisfied with what you used to draw to yourself for relationships, and you need something that mirrors your new needs because you've evolved. But if you're single and if you've been contemplating jumping into something because you met someone, you can have both. You can have your own prosperous reality that you have already built up for yourself and created for yourself, and you can have this relationship. If you feel as though you need to pick one over the other, it's probably not the right relationship for you. But if you have met someone that strikes a chord in you, possibly a chord that you haven't really felt in a very long time, it may also be saying that in the near future you finally decide to take the leap and really go with this and trust the situation, which is wonderful. So hopefully this made sense to you or helped you in some way, and we'll go on to your next section, which will be for your job situation, your career, and your money. See you in a moment. Hello, Virgo. This is going to be a 6-card spread for your job situation, career situation, or money situation, or all three. And if for some reason you are retired or a stay-at-home parent, or you are jobless at this point, you can always look at this as a look in on your goals or the things that you would like to achieve or do right now, along with how other people see you in the community. In other words, your reputation. Let's see if I can do something about the lighting. There, that seems to be a little bit better. And this is for Virgo rising, sun, and moon sign for August 2018 for career, jobs, and money, or goals. Pardon me, I'm just shuffling on the floor. Okay. Okay. Hang on one moment. Hello again. I just knew when I stopped it that Oriana, my daughter, was about to get out of the shower, so mother's intuition almost always knows best. Now she's taken the puppy out for a walk, and so we can finish this up. Okay, so your 6 cards for jobs, career, and money. On the top is Let me see if I can angle this where you can see it. There we go. Is the Two of Wands. In case you're new to my channel and you've never seen me read before, my cards are extremely scuffed and ancient. This is actually called the Spiral deck. I've had this for probably close to 18 years by now, something like that. So the middle out of the top three is the Nine of Cups. The third on the top is the Devil. Yeah, I kind of got a general feeling from your general reading that you've been having to go up against systems that are difficult or outmoded or possibly even corrupt, or having to go against forces that are not the greatest. So on the bottom three, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Cups. And for the last combination for your future, I pulled one clarifier, so we'll get into that. So in your recent past, with jobs, money, career, reputation, goals, whatever you want to call it, it looks like you had a new prospect or a new journey or a new direction to go that involved possibly putting your skills and talents out there more than you have before. Putting your skills on display, in other words, and possibly involving something to do with travel or exports, or expecting someone to come and visit you, or having to go travel for future ventures. Definitely involves some kind of a choice of, okay, do I stick with what I've got because it's familiar, or do I branch out and start throwing my talents and my abilities out there where more people can see it? Definitely there has been recently a growth in finances or a growth in opportunities. I'm looking at this one. Or applause or acclaim or respect from others for what you do. Perhaps you used to work behind the scenes more, and recently you have been more public or more geared to an audience than before. And it possibly led you to face some kind of a choice where you decided or had to decide whether or not you should continue to go with this new motion of things, or whether you should stick with what you've got. So that's your recent past. Presently, you have the Nine of Cups again. I believe you had this in your last reading for relationships. Yeah, and it is with the Eight of Wands. So this is leading me to believe that presently, because things are actually working out, and you're having some good progress with your goals or the things that you're doing, it's brought about a whole bunch of new opportunities that are kind of up in the air right now. It could be you're going to receive good news, or you may have to travel for business, in which case it'll be good travels. You'll meet some really influential people and make some really good alliances and feel like your vision is coming into fruition. But at the same time, don't overdo it. I'm getting something about while you're traveling, or while you have prospects up in the air or new situations on the way, try not to overindulge in any way. Be thankful for the blessings that you have and for the things that are coming into being, but at the same time, don't go overboard with it. And before you know it, things should settle down and you'll have a much better idea of what the heck is happening or what you should go with in the future. So I think there was something in your general reading. If you haven't watched that, you may want to watch that, for August, that was talking about flexibility This is definitely about flexibility, is your current situation. You may, if you are looking for a job, you may have put out a whole bunch of resumes to a bunch of different possibilities for jobs for you, in which case you may end up getting the job that you truly wish for. You may end up getting your dream job. So in the future, you have the Devil over the Three of Cups. So perhaps if you are in some kind of a situation with jobs or career where you have business partners or colleagues or people that you work with, you may have at one point thought that they were your friends or felt like there was a nice even exchange of creativity and support. But recently, perhaps you've been finding out some things about the people that you work with, or it turns out those friendships were false, or people are backbiting or not being very kind to each other behind each other's backs, or there's some kind of competition involved. Or it could be that in the future you realize the group of people that you have been working with are probably not the ones that you really want to be working with. So if you are in a position of being a boss or somebody in charge, you may want to bring new people in and address this. If you are not a boss and you are one of those three underneath, or I'm getting something about you've made really good alliances with the people that you work with, but something about the structure of it or the management of it or the ownership of it is messed up. It could be that really good people are working for something or under something that is not a good situation or is very greedy or controlling. If that rings true, you may want to possibly take those people with you and leave the situation if you can. Okay, I pulled a clarifier to go with these, which is Angel Temperance. So concerning whatever this is, that feels very heavy and controlling, like you are not able to be free or you're not able to do what you want. Even though perhaps you have found like-minded people that are very similar to you that you could work with on this, think positively and try not to let extremes, external or internal, get in your way of finding a nice, happy balance. It could be that you have to calm your own nerves in order to deal with the situation. It may be that you could, like I said earlier, band up with these people that you've met and start something completely new, or change it from the inside out. I don't know if that makes any sense. It could also be saying that you are overdoing it with work. Let me show you this again. You may be overworking yourself. You may be taking on too much. You may be taking on too much of other people's responsibilities at work, or feel trapped by work, like you never have any extra time to have fun, socialize, spend time with dear friends, possibly date, meet people. Something about your enjoyment of life and playtime is significantly cut down by feeling bound to your work or your job situation. If that's the truth for you, then again, your clarifier on that is Temperance, which is try to make arrangements so that you are not constantly working all the time. Try to reach out possibly to other people that you work with or that work for you or that you work for, in talking about how things could be adjusted where you have more time for play in your life rather than just work. If you're self-employed or if you're your own boss or have your own business, then this is saying you can definitely find the help that you need to take over certain responsibilities so that you don't have to feel as though you're the only person who can do those things. That may be in your head, that may not be in reality. If you train someone right or show someone right, especially the right person, how to do something, they're more than capable of doing that for you. And possibly even better than you, because you've been overdoing it, and so you may not be completely doing things to the best of your ability because you are overworked. So hopefully that made sense or helped in some way, and on to the next one, which will be for your health. Hello Virgo, here's your health section. So this will be for Virgo rising, sun, and moon sign for the month of August 2018 for their mental, emotional, and physical health. In Virgo's best, highest good, along with whatever they need to hear the most. I'm shuffling the cards. Okay, 6 cards. Okay, I'm going to show you your cards. For your health, you have the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Princess of Swords. Again, this was in your general reading for August. The 9 of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. So, concerning your health, the only major health problems I'm getting in here have to do, at least physically speaking, and the other ones too. The one that I'm looking at is this, which is the 5 of Pentacles. This leads me to believe that perhaps you have exhaustion or feelings of being cold too frequently. Maybe you're having a hard time warming up, or you're having a hard time with regulating your temperatures of your body. But mainly I'm getting blockages that are caused by feelings of possible poverty or not having enough money, or possibly working too much for not enough in return, or a feeling of being left out in the cold or abandoned in some way. It is saying something about if you speak, I'm looking at this one now, if you speak up and speak more clearly to other people and also to yourself on what you will or will not withstand, or what your general rules are for what you will allow in your life. If you can get clear on things like speaking up clearly and concisely about where you're at and what needs to be done about certain things, or if you can make a decision. That's weird. Oh, that's why. Hang on one moment. Okay. If you can get clearer with others about what your boundaries are or where you're actually at and what you think about things, especially about things being just or fair in a situation. Perhaps you feel as though you're having to do a lot on your own without much help from other people. You want to create a foundation for yourself, and you want to take care of children, possibly, if you have any. And you want to be almost complete with laying this foundation, but there's something in here about making sure that your needs are met, or that things are being fair, or that the rules are fair, or the legalities of something is fair. It does say that you need help, that you're possibly doing too much. So if you do need help, feel free to ask for help, and if it's offered, please accept it. It's important for you to have help with this. With the upkeep of things, but overall, I see your health as being pretty good. You just need to ask for help, and you need to make a decision, and you need to change your thinking patterns. And now I'm looking at this. When I compare that to this, I feel like a lot of this feelings of abandonment or feeling left out in the cold or not having what you need is causing you a great deal of physical stress. This could be exhaustion, feeling tired, possibly not sleeping enough, but your remedy in this situation I'm looking at is to change your thought patterns concerning whatever that feeling of abandonment is all about. If you can look at this as a new adventure for yourself rather than something you're walking away from reluctantly or shut out, which you're reluctant about. You didn't want to be shut out. You need to speak, or you need to look at things in a different way. So hopefully that helped or made sense. And I wish you all the best. Many, many blessings to you. Take care. I'll see you next time.